Well, the Houston Astros won another series on the road. Jose Altuve did it in historic fashion, and Shay Whitcomb hit his first home run. Let's talk about another great win. Diesel was there too. Let's start right now.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at EricDocStros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on X and on Facebook and Instagram, and at Wheelhouse Media Company on YouTube, on Instagram. And look, wherever you get your podcast, you know where I am because I'm always positive, always Stros.
There are 3 Astros GOATs in Astros history, and one of them just passed another. We're going to talk about that on today's episode. But guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go ahead and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. That's right. Jose Altuve, he has now passed Jeff Bagwell for the most hits, or second most hits in franchise history. So what did Jeff Bagwell have to say about it? Will Jose Altuve be able to pass the GOAT of the GOATs in Astros history, Craig Biggio, for hits? We're going to talk about that. Shay Whitcomb, is he going to be the next GOAT in Astros history? He had his first home run today.
Wow,
And
hold on. You can't just throw on the word GOAT because you're on a roll.
And then another GOAT was on the mound, Hunter Brown. His curveball was not moving the way he wanted it to.
This episode is brought to you by GOATs.
All right, going back to Adam Sandler's GOAT, but I don't know if you ever listened to that stuff, the Adam Sandler stuff back in the day.
No, I did not. Yeah. No. But I'll look it up. But I'm pretty sure that in your mind there is a reference that makes sense. Hey, I do that a lot. I do want to recognize a couple of things. Linda said her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. The Astros won on her birthday. Ricardo is here. Eric, he came down all the way from New York for the Locked On Astros group night. So that was really cool. We got Michael here, Susan. I mean, the whole gang's here, Mr. Rashad. So yesterday was a really cool day in Astros history. Jose Altuve passing Jeff Bagwell, I think is significant because the question has been his whole career, like, will he get to 3,000? Not just past Craig Biggio, but getting to that magic number 3,000.
Right.
Last year, he's on the heels of a 185 hit season. That's the most hits he's had since 2017 in a season. I very much think that if Jose Altuve focuses on contact and focuses on not trying to hit the home run or what his numbers are in all the different categories, if he just goes up there and protects himself at the plate and swings at good pitches, I don't know, Eric. I think he can do it. It's going to take some work, and it's going to be a grind the last season or two. But he has to hit 140. He's going to average 145 hits over the next 5 seasons. But he's not signed for the next 5, is he? He's only signed for the next 4.
So he's only under contract till 2029. So I did the math. So that's that's 4.5 years. I'm assuming that this is the half year. So that means that if this is the end of the career for Jose Altuve, He is currently 35 years old. That means he'll be 39 at the end of the contract. So he has to have about 175 hits per season in order to hit that marker. It took Craig Biggio 20 years to get to 3,000 hits. This is not something that a lot of players get to. So it's a great accomplishment. And even Jeff Bagwell acknowledges. He said, I don't think the number of hits he has now and the number of hits I had is what we're concerned about. There's another number out there that he's looking at more than mine. It's 3,000 hits. He's such a great hitter and a huge part of this franchise success over the years. He's an incredible player and person. I couldn't be happier for him. Like I said, he's got bigger places to go than that. It's a great accomplishment, Brett, but Jose Altuve, he's here for a reason. The Astros have been a great team, maybe not from the get-go. We all went through the process where the Astros were losing 100 games per season, but then it got them to where they are. Jose Altuve became a much better player. He may be that quiet leader. He may not be that gun-ho, let's go get him rah-rah type guy, but the guys look to him in the clubhouse. He's the guy. Jeff Bagwell is kind of like that. He was the quiet leader. Everybody looked up to him, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when you compare it across Major League Baseball, that's why the Astros continue to be relevant in the baseball world. Really, he is one of the reasons why a team can sustain 15 or 16 injuries in one season and be on the heels of the Detroit Tigers for best record in the American League. It is a culture, and it is a stark difference from our neighbors up north in Arlington, where I saw a podcast with Kevin Pillar, who was just, I think, released by the Rangers. And he just talked about how disappointed he was. He thought that locker room would be a lot more tight. He said there's a bunch of individuals. There's not really a good, clean club culture like he's experienced. And he said, well, maybe I'm an outsider. Maybe I'm new. Maybe that's why. But you've never heard that in Houston. You've never heard that at all. And he is the foundation. And so even in flaws that he has in his game, like when the ball hit his foot yesterday, when he was running to third, I'm like,
it looked like they timed it, Brett. It looked like he was like 1, 2, 3 hit.
Someone said, did he do that on purpose? He just, look, I think Altuve is like a lot of, aging athletes, where there are some situations where I remember watching him go from first to second, him stealing bases, the speed to, look, Father Time's undefeated, right? But no matter what mistakes this guy's made, no matter how quote unquote negative his glove is and outs above average or whatever, he is the foundation for this club. He is the person that everybody looks to when there's a question. He's the guy that walks up to the manager and says, I know I'm a career best leadoff hitter in this clubhouse, but I want to put Jeremy Pena in the leadoff spot, and I want to bat third. He's the guy that hits multiple home runs or a cycle like he did in Boston, and then manages to give his teammates all the credit. So Jose Altuve is an irreplaceable person. Craig Biggio was that guy. Bagwell was that guy. But I would contend that more than Biggio and Bagwell, Altuve has cemented himself not only in Astros history, but in baseball history, because what this guy has done, a man of his stature, coming from literally nowhere to being in a conversation about 3,000 hits and even coming close to it, is massively impressive. And I think anybody that's an Astros fan, you've got to sing his praises, because a lot of the success is due to him.
And I'm going to stack on top of that. He did something that Bagwell and Biggio never did. He got this city to two World Series. And so that's just awesome right there. And so what Altuve's done to this city, what he's I think he's going to go down Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell, some of my favorite players of this franchise. But at the end of the day, it's likely going to be Jose Altuve. Does he have the running instincts of Jeff Bagwell? No. Does he have what Biggio did in his career? Probably not. But I think his all-around game is just awesome. So, guys, we're going to go and continue this discussion. We're going to talk more Jose Altuve because what Jose Altuve's done is just awesome. So, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
All right, we've all been there before, logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show that doesn't have the tickets anymore. And live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of shopping. That's where Gametime comes in. Gametime makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than before. Come on, you ladies know that you want to go to that New Kids on the Block reunion with Backstreet Boys or whatever. Guys, you want to go to the different stand-up comedians that come to Toyota Center or NRG when you have different big stars, rock stars, pop stars. Gametime makes it easier. Right now, you can save up to 60% with their killer last-minute deals. If you're tired of endless scrolling, Gametime's Zone Deals pick. They get the best seats in your section, and they give you a panoramic seat view of where you'll be sitting. With Gametime, the price you see is the price you pay, no hidden fees. Worried about what happens if plans change? The Gametime guarantee has your back with cancellation protection and more. Take the guesswork out of buying concert and show tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, where you can get the best information like New Kids on the Block information. They're going to go do a reunion tour with Backstreet Boys. Wow. Where else can you get this information from than H-Town Wheelhouse? So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his
Eric, no, morning shows are not good for us. Oh my gosh. So hey, truth be known, Eric and I talked a lot last night. He had a long day at work. Was doing some stuff with my son and his friends at Top Golf. So I was like, hey, he was like, why don't we do the show in the morning? I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. Totally slept through my alarm. So thank you, Eric, for waking me up this morning. It's a little out of routine for me with the summer and being a teacher. I don't necessarily have a routine, and I'm gonna have to get one soon because my real work starts here in a few weeks. But this was a great game. Jose Altuve, historic night for him. Shay Whitcomb. I said, look, put this guy in the lineup. He can hit. He's got power. Goes out there, Eric. It's his first major league home run, and it was a big shot. I mean, he took advantage of the high altitude for sure, like 251 or something like that.
Yeah, it was 451 feet.
451. When I say 251, 451. Yeah. Yes.
251 would barely be getting to.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry, Shay.
But it was a blast, and it was he couldn't wipe the smile off his face, and it was awesome to see. This is a situation where this guy came up last year, didn't have a great experience, his first cup of tea with the Astros, especially with the 2-error game, and he wasn't getting a lot of playing time, and so he was starting against a lefty, and so this is a situation where he may be getting another start against a lefty. So today, we'll see what happens in today's game. But you're playing at Coors Field or whatever it's called now, and this is a situation where you got to take advantage of the altitude, and he did, and it was a blast. And this is a situation where you had the opportunity, and I think it was either Blum or TK. They said after Hummel hit the ball that looked like it was going to be a pop-up, it kind of went to the wall. He's like, this is the perfect time that Shay Whitcomb could get his first home run. And it was just like moments later, it seemed like the Whitcomb hit that home run right there. So it's just awesome to see that. Everybody that's why I put on thumbnail, hugs for homers. I know that was a Tony Kemp thing, but I just thought that was a cool experience because everybody realized this kid has been hitting a lot of home runs in AAA, but it hasn't translated to big league level yet. Now it has. And so this is a situation where this kid's dreams has come true. Finally, something has gone right for him at the big league level.
Yeah, and another rookie where things continue to go extremely well is Cam Smith, 3 for 5 yesterday, Eric. I mean, he is hitting the ball like a professional. He is not trying to do too much. He is doing just enough. He is hitting the ball into right center field, left center field. He's not trying to pull everything. And someone on here just put right here, second among rookies in RBIs. This kid, Cam Smith,
he's getting close to Jacob Wilson.
Oh yeah, he's and I think honestly, Jacob Wilson is going to have a complete fall off for about 3 or 4 weeks for Cam to supplant him as the number one vote getter. But I just think, I don't know, sometimes these awards you wonder if, I'm not saying Rookie of the Year is a sympathy vote, but what else do the Athletics have other than Jacob Wilson making headlines?
Well, Brett, to go back off of that, I just think that what Jacob Wilson has done, it's a little bit more consistent. He's done it.
No, that's true. No, yeah.
He's got the batting average. I think he's got the overall game. I think Cam Smith, he's been helping the Astros a lot recently. Cam Smith's been helping surprisingly with the defense. I don't think anybody expected him to catch on to right field so quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised unless somebody just emerges or Jake Meyer, maybe at some point they think about moving him to center field. Not now, not next year, but at some point, if the need's there, he's got the ability possibly to play center field. Right. But I think that Jacob Wilson, just because he's done it from the get-go, I think that, and the fact that he was in college, just like Cam Smith, but I think that it's not a sympathy vote. I think it's just a fact that.
No, I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying.
Right. I think if they end up neck and neck, I think if Cam continues to excel, if Cam continues to climb, and they're pretty much neck and neck, Jacob Wilson probably edges him out because of the length of his consistency versus Cam Smith catching fire. And I think that supports really where you're going with that.
But if Cam Smith goes on fire, like you're saying, and hits 12 home runs and just goes on a spell, maybe 20 home runs, finishes with maybe 30 home runs on the season, I doubt that will happen, but something like that, then yes, that will catapult him over. I think stats are way ahead.
And a stat that people look at in the baseball world is the high leverage OPS, as mentioned by our viewer Michael, and that's huge. But in the grand scheme of things, just because you win Rookie of the Year doesn't mean you advance further in the playoffs. What I love about this team is they're finding ways to win despite injuries. Jake Myers got hit in the rib cage yesterday. Continue to play,
especially after what happened with Jeremy Pena.
So, have we heard anything about imaging, or is he going to be sent to West Palm? I mean, what's going on with this Keystone Cop medical staff that we have in Houston?
I don't know. As far as I know, he stayed in the game, opposed to what happened with Pena.
Right.
So I think that's a good sign. The fact that he was able to stay in game the rest of the game. I haven't heard anything negative, so I think that it wasn't as bad. I just think that it was the location that hit Jeremy Pena. So I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, stop hitting
yeah,
our players.
It's just
Stop
like,
hitting.
no, we can't afford. Like, we're playing too well. Do you realize that in the past 9 games, we've won 8 of them? In the past 20 games, we've won 16 of them. It's like the Astros are doing all this, and they keep on losing players like Guillermo. And it's like, you can't keep on losing these superstars like Guillermo and keep on winning, dude. Come on.
I love how you just I love how you thrown around GOAT and superstar today. Wow. This episode is brought to you by words that mean too little, or do they mean too much? No, but seriously, let's look, next segment, let's talk about Hunter Brown. It was a great performance, and he talked about the altitude having some effect on his pitches, but we'll hit that up on the next segment. So Supply House is one of our favorite sponsors. Why? Because if you are into HVAC, electrical, or plumbing, you get 5% off your first order using the code SH5. Now, being the son of a master electrician, I know all about ordering parts, having parts there at the ready. And I can tell you time and time again where we would go from supply house to supply house to supply house, only to find that the last one barely had the part in time for us to get the job done. Well, you don't have to worry about that with Supply House. Why? Because they have an inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, and you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. And if you need help with an order, you talk to their experts, support and industry leading service so that you'll always get a real person. No automated teller. It is for trade pros. And if you're looking for an extra edge, pros, there are free Trademaster program, offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals have already taken advantage. Now it's your turn. So join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So I just confirmed I was watching a game, but I was half asleep as I was watching the game. Jake Myers did stay in the entire game. Hummel was the only person that left the game, but that was just to get the newest Astro, who's probably going to become a legend at some point. Zach Short was called up to replace Guillermo. That was kind of where I was leading up to. So there's a transaction move that was made yesterday. And in order to make room on the 40-man roster, brace yourself. Yordan Alvarez was placed on the 60-day IL. That doesn't mean anything. He can still be called up or taken off the IL
any day because he's already been down 60 days.
Right. So it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that he's going to be out 60 more days from this point. It just means that they needed space on the roster. And if you put somebody on the 60-day IL, you open up a roster space, and they needed another body. And Zach Short is that guy. So this was his debut with the Houston Astros. He's not a rookie.
And he does have some experience. So you definitely want guys who have been there before, especially, I mean, guys, you're going into LA after this game. Going to be a tough series with the Dodgers. I expect the Astros to take care of business like they have all season. But with this Yordan Alvarez thing, before we get on to Hunter Brown, I was listening to Josh Reddick talk about it. And I mean, It does sound like a hamate bone, and it sounds like to me like surgery is the only thing that's really going to fix this. And it just makes you wonder why it's taken so long to get to this point. I mean, he had issues with his hands in spring training. There's a lot of things that go on in the clubhouse behind the scenes that we don't see and we don't know. But one thing is clear is the image of the Astros medical staff is not good right now. Like, there's not a single Astros fan that I talk to that has anything positive to say. And so they're going to have to, I don't know what they got to do, but something's got to change, because these things are, I think at this point, egregious. How much they're missing, how much they're letting guys play through pain. I mean, whatever. I'm like, you got these assets, and there's no way Jim Crane's happy about this. But you know what Jim Crane is happy about? He's happy about Hunter Brown, because apparently he told Hunter Brown in 2022, hey, you're going to be an ace. You're going to be in an Astros uniform for a long time. But then Hunter Brown's like, but I got Scott Boras. And he went out last night and he just dealt. I mean, the guy threw his hardest pitch ever, 99.8 miles per hour. The 100 still eludes him because he doesn't round up. But Eric, a gritty performance. Hunter Brown, he just continues to impress. And really, I think he is the ace of this staff.
Yeah, he said after the game that his stuff was just doing weird stuff. It wasn't breaking like it normally does. So he had to adjust on the fly. And that's why you have a lot of pitchers in Colorado. I remember Mike Hampton going there and he struggled for a little bit. Then he adjusted, but he still was not the same pitcher he was with the Houston Astros. So you're just it's going to be hard to field a winning team. You're going to have to build a basically offensive juggernaut to win in that team, and just have ground ball pitchers that don't allow a lot of fly balls in order to succeed there. And it's just hard to do that. But Hunter Brown just went out there. He allowed that one home run to Mickey. I'll just call him Mickey and Maniac. But he just went out. He didn't, like, at that point it was 2-0. Then he allowed that 2-run homer, but to tie the game. But he didn't break down. He didn't lose his focus because it was a blast. But he knew that at some point, because of where he was playing, he was going to give up the home run. But he went out there and just continued to deal. And that's what you like about somebody like Hunter Brown. He went out there 6 innings with the 8 strikeouts, 102 pitches, 17 whiffs. And his ERA is 1.82. I see all over social media that Tariq Skubal is the best pitcher in the MLB, but it just feels like Hunter Brown is being overlooked, and it makes me worry that people are going to be seeing what Skubal is doing and not what Hunter Brown is doing because of the Tigers' success. But watch out, Tigers. There's another predator nipping at your tail, and it's the Houston Astros. They're only 1.5 games behind you.
It's an astronaut. We're going to attack the Tigers. No, but yeah, I think that's the key, Eric.
Yeah.
The key is not necessarily, I think as Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez go, the Astros go. Mm-hmm. Which I think, despite the injuries, this year, you have a year that is really unlike any other in Astros history, where we have the injuries, we're winning at home. Now if the Astros can sweep the Rockies, I believe they either hit 500 on the road or they go one game over 500 on the road. And that's huge, because where they were on the road earlier, it was not great. But we remember the last several years at home, they couldn't win. Their pitchers would deal, and they just couldn't support them, even with 1 run or 2 run. I still need to see this team fix their 47 plus games of 3 runs or less. They need to get away from that more, score 4 runs or more. But everything lines up, and Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez are the only 2 pitchers that I think are top 10 in ERA, top 10 in WAR. And they are the best 1-2 combo. But what helps with the success, Eric, is your back end. And I don't know if you notice, but yesterday, instead of going with Josh Hader and Brian Abreu, you had to go with a different combination. So So what does Espada do? He puts in Caleb Orton the 8th, and then he puts Souza in the 9th, and they sealed the deal. So whatever guy you have in this plug and play team, they're going to excel. And that, I think, is going to be the key. But Hunter Brown, I think, moves into first place consideration if the Astros pass the Tigers in record. And if they do that and can sustain that for a few weeks, Hunter Brown gets a few key wins. That will be huge for him.
Yeah, and I know it's an early game today. I believe Brandon Walter's on the mound for the Astros, but this would be a big adjustment for him, pitching at high altitude. So we'll see how today's game goes, but the Astros have clinched 12 consecutive winning series. That's pretty awesome. And they're 18 games above 500. This is, like I said earlier, 16 games out of 20. They're 52-34. They're 7 games above not above 500, but 7 games above the Mariners right now. So this team is just clicking on all cylinders, despite losing Pena, despite not having Alvarez in the lineup. Despite this, I believe they have 17 players on the IL, maybe 18. It's just crazy what this team has done. And they've done it with just the leadership of Joe Espada. They've done it with just the next man up mentality. And I know we're running out of time, but let's say Shay Whitcomb has a good game. The Astros are worried about his defense. Why not give him a shot? If you're looking for a DH, if he starts producing a little bit, why don't you give him a chance at DH? And maybe if he's not a good defensive player, give him a chance at DH. See what he can do. Give him some chance, because he is crushing home runs down in AAA.
Well, he crushed a home run
in AAA.
Okay, in AAA. Okay, yeah, my bad. Yes, he was crushing home runs in AAA. He did crush a home run in Coors Field, and so I think it's going to be, as Shay Whitcomb goes and succeeds, that he'll get more opportunities. So Joe Espada's got a hold of this lineup. Joe Espada's got a handle on what guys need to be in there. And I'm not really hearing the criticism that I heard and the freaking out about lineups like we did.
Winning fixes everything, Brett.
I know, that's what I was about to say. Now if the Astros are 2 games under 500, everybody's wanting Joe Espada's
fired,
all that stuff. Just get rid of him, because the answer.
Altuve.
Hey, yes, Altuve's terrible. Fire Espada. I mean, we've heard it. This team, again, its foundation is Jose Altuve. Its club culture is enhanced by guys like Joe Espada. And it's not only enhanced, but it's also accelerated and made better by guys like Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez. And at the end of the day, this team is squarely where it needs to be. But you know what? I'm pretty sure they're going to go out and get another bat, because with Yordan possibly out the entire season, which I have reserved in my mind mentally that Yordan is done for the year, because I can't do this back and forth stuff anymore. He's going to play in LA. Oh, he's shut down. I can't do it. I don't have the mental fortitude to do that. So Yordan, we'll see you next year. Go get a left-handed bat. I don't care. Go get freaking Ryan O'Hearn. Go get somebody that makes a difference. I don't want Verdugo. I don't want Pilar. No, I don't want JD Martinez to come out of retirement. I mean, the
Pilar just announced his retirement, I thought.
I know. Well, I mean, if we're going to ask for JD Martinez out of retirement, people are probably going to ask for Pilar too. I'm just like the crazy suggestions of, let's just go get this guy. No. We need someone that's a surefire bat. Ryan O'Hearn is that guy. I don't know what you got to give up to get him, but he is a rental, and he is 31 going on 32. Astros, go get that sweep. Let's get it done and go to LA and kick some Dodger. You know what?
One more thing. I don't know if you saw it, but Julian Morales said that that Framber Valdez and Jeremy Pena requested a hot dog from a fan, and that they were having a little fun time with that. Then they went back into the dugout, but then they mentioned that Lance McCullers was there with the rookie pitchers, and he looked like he was in game mode, focused and everything, because he knows that the only loss that the Astros have had has been in the last 9 games, has been his game where he gave up those 7 runs. So, or eight runs, whatever it was. But he knows that he needs to fix things. And so while Framber is Framber and he can just do stuff with that. I'm sure he focuses on stuff, but
right.
I love how McCullers is in like that kind of mentor mode, and he knows that he's that veteran on the staff right now, and he needs to be there with the rookies. And he's also thinking, look, I need to start getting ready for the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are a tough team. And so hopefully he rebounds. I think that he will. And the Astros need to continue to beat good teams. It's not that they're just beating the A's and the bad teams of the world. They're beating the Phillies, the Cubs. Yes. I don't think it's going to be sweep. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, or today, I guess. But I think the Dodgers will be if they can win a series against the Dodgers, I think that would be a big statement game, a big alert to the rest of the MLB. But guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. You can go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and make us your first listen. And hopefully the Astros get the win, and we go and face the Dodgers and make some memories. So
go Stros. Sorry. I'm a little tired, man. I'm not used to this 8 o'clock wake up time stuff.
It's 6 o'clock my time.
I know.